I am currently driving in North Carolina. It's about, I don't know how many days since the last show. It's been at least a week, maybe more. And I wanted to talk about this little, whatever you want to call it, the second leg Phish tour mini summer tour, because I was thinking about the highlights from each state. And I guess not including Louisville, Kentucky. I have three things that definitely stood out for me for highlights for Birmingham, Alpharetta, and Hampton. I really think that Birmingham, the highlight of those two shows in Alabama was, I think it was the second night when they did Good Times, Bad Times. And honestly, the lights during that whole weekend were phenomenal. CK5 like killed it, especially with it still being technically an outside amphitheater. The lights were stunning. Like it was a stunning show. I think that musically, the second night, it was just slightly better than the first night, but I think that the lights were more impressive the first night than the second night, if I had to describe it. For Georgia, the things that stand out for me, I'm tied between the amazing Carini into Light back into Carini. That was stunning. I don't know how many times, I don't think any times have I ever seen a Carini reprise. And I was dancing with my friend when they went from Light back into Carini, and my jaw was like on the floor, because it was so cohesive and beautiful that the end of Light going into Carini, you almost forgot what they were playing while they were playing Light. It was stunning. I would say, besides Carini like Carini, the Fuego from, I think it was the first night of Georgia, that Fuego, I remember even people talking about it on the lot for like the whole next day. People were talking about how amazing the Fuego was, and I am not a big fan of Fuego, and so the jam on it for that was so impressive that I was like, okay, actually I have to give it the credit it deserves. That was amazing. For a Fuego to be tied with a Carini reprise with me really says something about that Fuego. For Hampton, I think it was on the last night of Hampton, they played Meat, which, besides the fact that somebody had a banner hanging over the balcony saying Meat, it was so, the energy in that was so amazing. The way that it all clicked into such a funky groove for me that like was just meticulously cohesive and stunning. That was the one that for Hampton for me stands out totally. A little favorable mention or honorable mention for Hampton would also be 2001, but it's really just because, you know, with the mothership and everything, that 2001 was like destined to be amazing, and it was. But overall, Meat stands out totally for me. Those three stand out, and honestly, like, shout out to the songs that they didn't play the whole leg of the tour that I remember everyone was talking about. I know at least of three people that wanted to hear Rocky Top. We really thought that in the southern states they were gonna play it. For Hampton, I was almost 100% sure they were gonna play Turtle in the Clouds. They did not, which is fine. Also, shout out to the vacuum being visible on stage next to Fishman during Hampton, and me kind of making a fool of myself by saying, oh look, like they're gonna play the vacuum, he's gonna pull it out, I see it on the stage, and then he did not. So definitely I like did that just to make some people call out the wrong thing, in my opinion. It's kind of funny. So shout out to honorable mention is the vacuum not being played. Rocky Top, Turtle in the Clouds. And another one is, I have seen so many shows, and the song Human Nature is on the new album, and they have only, I swear they've only played that like 2 or 3 times over a year and a half. It's a Mike song, so I was surprised that they didn't incorporate it into Mike's nights, which there was 2 of. It was in Hampton, there was a Mike's night, and then I believe in Georgia was a Mike's night, where they did Mike's song, and Hydrogen was in Hampton, and Weekapaug. But overall, it's just funny to think about, like, pour out ones that they didn't play. But we got some really good, great sets. Even in Alabama, they were pulling out ones that, like, hadn't been played for a while, which was great. And yeah, like I said, overall, what stands out for each city for me was in Alabama, when they did the Zeppelin cover of Good Times, Bad Times, that took everyone by a delightful surprise. Next city in Alpharetta, Fuego, stunning. Carini like Carini, stunning. And then Hampton, Meat, very funky, very great. I think for Bourbon and Beyond, for Louisville, Kentucky, what stood out to me, only for personal reasons, was Free, but that's because I got miracled into the show right as they were playing Free. So for me, that's what I remember most. That's what stood out. So yeah, I think overall it was a really great little mini tour run. I'm really glad to have gone to every show. I sold out of all my art on the lot, so it was great. If you saw me slinging lighters, shout out to you. If you bought one, even bigger of a shout out. But yeah, the reason I wanted to kind of put this into a video was because, yeah, that Fuego was so good. And it really just started making me think about what stood out in each of those states and cities. So yeah, let me know what you think, if anybody watches this at all. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great tour. Happy summer 2025. It's actually fall now. And yeah, let me know what you thought. I'm always curious to see what other people think of each song or city, because even in the crowds we're talking about who likes what, people are shocked about, like, oh really, you like I Hate Monsters, I don't like that song, and a lot of people really like that song, so it's always funny to see what stands out for certain people. So but yeah, that is all.